Okay, welcome to another episode of the Student Athlete Podcast. I'm super excited to have another Brit on the episode. We have Luca Powell from Wake Forest. Luca, if you'd like to say a few words and introduce yourself, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, my name is Luca. I'm from Solihull, England. I'm a sophomore on the Wake Forest men's tennis team, and I currently major in finance.
Fantastic. He's a finance major. We can respect that. I want to get straight into it though and talk about your absolutely historic and incredible win just recently at the National Indoors in Dallas. Tell me a little bit about that. Obviously we everyone saw how Wake Forest did. It was pretty close in the final. It was nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
You guys managed to get there. Talk to me a little bit about that, what that experience was like.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was great. We had high expectations coming in before the tournament. I mean, the last year we semi-finaled with a team that I thought we didn't have as good ability-wise, but we did well last year with what we had, and I think this year we were really looking to, um, we were really looking to go out and win. I think our coaches instilled that in us before the tournament and during the tournament. They kept saying like we came here to win this thing, and I think it just helped each and every one of us to just keep pushing on and fighting through the tough times that we had because we had two 4-3s there in the end, and yeah, it was just a great week, really.
It was a fantastic week. It was an exceptional week, actually. Yeah. So you mentioned there that your coaches had kind of instilled in you before that, that the expectation was to win. Was that something that you guys had already set from the fall almost? Like, or was this just a springtime thing of this is what we expect from you guys and this is where we're going to go and nothing else is good enough? Talk to me a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with our team, but we have a bigger team than most. I believe now we have 19 guys, which is crazy. So obviously it's hard to have everyone's got different goals, has different roles on the team. But we've got a great captain, Franco, and we have two co-captains, Tachi and Harry. And I think just when we have like meetings with all of us players and generally, and even without the coaches, our goal is, we're coming for all four titles this year. We're coming for national indoors, ACC tournament, ACC regular season, outdoor nationals, and we really just, for some of our guys, like the older guys, like Franco, it's his last year playing tennis. He's made it open that he's not going to be playing tennis anymore. So I think just even without the coaches and just the team in general, I think we've just been super motivated this spring to just, not just for ourselves, but each of us has giving it for like Franco, for example, like our captain. We're all out to do our best for each other, and I think it's shown in every match we've played this year so far. And I think it was very prevalent in the national indoors that um, we weren't playing for ourselves. We were playing for the guys next to us and the Wake Forest and Wake Forest alum. And I think, yeah, we just had a very clear goal on what we were there to do. And even after we won the tournament, and obviously we celebrated a little bit, our coach is like, right, that's that ticked off. We're hungry for more, and that's what we've been doing ever since we won the indoors.
Nice. Sounds like team culture and expectations was like a massive part of what got you guys to that point. So, with the expectations being made clear at the start of the year, how was that on the way into the tournament? Did you feel that pressure of, okay, we have to win this, or was it just like, we're good, we kind of got this?
Yeah, I mean, I think like, again, I talk about our captain Franco. He's very good. I mean, he's an older guy, but he was very good at coming to each individual player on the team and making sure they know their role and how they can help the team. And he one thing he said is we don't like. I think right now we're past national indoors. We're like 19-0 or something like that. And yeah, so one thing he used to say was like, "We're not slowing down. We're going to win, hoping to have an undefeated season." And I think like that attitude is what we've taken throughout whole of indoors. Even our coaches. I remember Brian Baker, our assistant, kept saying in our huddles when we were there, he kept saying, we're hunting, we're not being hunted, we're hunting the other teams. And I think that was just our mindset through the whole week. We were just hunting the other teams to win because we wanted to win so badly. And I'm really happy and grateful that I had the opportunity to be a part of that.
It's incredibly special and congratulations again. But you said there along the lines of you guys are hunting for the win. So when it
Yeah.
gets a bit tight and like we got to win this, we have to win this, like expectations there. Could you talk to me a little bit about what your emotions were like, what they were like on the team? Because I know sometimes people can get a bit tight in those moments.
Yeah.
And how did you push past that? How did you get to the end goal?
Yeah, I mean, speaking on behalf of the team, I think we trust each other. We got six guys out there playing singles past the doubles, and I think we do a good job of trusting each other, but we don't rely on each other. We've seen it's shown in our results this year outside of indoors as well that we don't go down without a fight. I think we've had like three matches where guys have lost in two sets. So if we lose, we've lost mainly in three sets. So I think it just shows that each guy is committed and driven to winning their court and being the guy who wins it for the team. And I think that's been so effective for our team this year.
What about you? How about when you get tight? Do you ever get tight or are you just rock solid?
I mean, in the interview, after I clinched in the quarterfinals against NC State, I had an interview, and I was thinking about it just before this, and I was thinking I kind of like the pressure being on me. I kind of enjoy the feeling of it's my time to show up and turn up, and yeah, no, I don't. I kind of relish it more so than get nervous. Which I mean, some people like it, some people hate it, but. Yeah, I kind of enjoy the feeling of that, and it kind of makes me play a little bit better.
Oh wow, so you're a pressure point player. You can handle it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I try my best, and obviously, at the end of the day, you just put your best version of yourself on the court on the day, and
Mm,
whatever happens, happens. But yeah, I definitely enjoy the pressure. I
mm.
don't really shy away from it.
That's pretty huge. Have you always been like that, or is that something that you've just gotten accustomed to?
Uh, I think I've always been in situations where if I get an opportunity, I have to kind of take it. And I think that I've had a lot of pressure moments, and those have kind of shaped how the way I view pressure and handle with it. And I think that, especially coming into college, last year it was close whether I was even going to play or not. And I think I got the opportunity to play, and I saw that as like good pressure, and I took it, and that's why where I am now. And yeah, I'm not sure where it's came from, but I just enjoy it.
No, that's great to hear. It's great to hear. So aside from winning the championship, what was another memorable moment you had on that run?
Uh, I mean, aside from the feeling of winning, of course, I think it was just taking it match by match. Because we were the number one seeds on our side, we had the same schedule every day. So we were doing the same stuff every day. We'd wake up, do a bit of rehab, have breakfast, go to our first hit. We went to Panera, 5 days in a row at the same time. We
Oh,
sat in the exact same seat. We ate the exact same food. We had the exact same hit times. We had the exact same dinner. We sit in the exact same seats. I think stuff like that, even from last year, is just what I remember. And I say we're quite a superstitious team, and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what comes to mind immediately when I think of Wake Forest men's tennis.
What is a championship winning Panera order?
I mean, because I'm probably not like the other team. I wake up quite early. Just like stretch and warm up. But so I have breakfast. So I just go light and have like some oatmeal and a bagel. But some of the guys tee off. I see a couple of the guys having like two, three Chipotle avocado sandwiches. Those are our guys love those. They love the like Chipotle avocado sandwiches and banana and strawberry smoothie. They love that.
That's the classic. Two or three per person of these.
Yeah, like no, some do. Yeah, yeah, they definitely take advantage of the big budget we have. But they got to get the food in somehow.
You got to do what you got to do to win championships, hey? So if that's what it
Exactly.
takes,
Yeah, exactly.
that's what it takes. Okay, perfect. I loved hearing that. It's nice hearing that superstition and that has been something that's ingrained at Wake Forest, and Panera is obviously essential to your guys' success.
Yeah, definitely that week. I mean, we always pretty much we always go Panera, and for dinner, like we always have Outback. It's just a thing we do. Yeah, and it worked. So we keep doing it until it stops working.
Is that honestly what you have before every single match?
Yeah, like so
Oh,
we'll
wow.
always have a before a match. Like let's say we play Virginia Tech this
Mhm.
Friday, we'll wake up. So let's say the match is at I don't know 3. We'll wake up, have breakfast, do a first hit like 20 minutes. Then we'll go Panera, sit there for an hour and a half, have our food. Then we'll um, come back, play the match. Then obviously we'll be traveling to Virginia.
Mhm.
Um, so we'll probably have anything that night. But
Mhm.
the next night before Virginia, we'll definitely eat Outback. We always eat steak.
What's your Outback order? Go ahead.
I mean, I'm like very on the opposite to a normal person. I particularly don't like steak as much, which is probably shocking to
Really?
hear.
No, I'm right there with you. So yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I don't see like the appeal of it. So I normally get like this like Kingsland shrimp pasta, which is pretty rogue from a steakhouse. But
Mhm.
the boys rinse me for it. But I just tell them, well, we'll see who wins tomorrow.
There you go.
And then
If it works, it
yeah,
works. All right. You don't mess with the finished product right there. Okay.
exactly. That's what I say to them. Yeah,
Okay. Let's cast it back to England then. So I mentioned that you are originally from England, Solihull, and you
yeah,
trained at Loughborough. So you're a successful junior. When did you become aware of the college pathway, and what made you look to come to America?
yeah. So I was at an academy in Loughborough, and honestly, one day I remember sitting at home with my dad, and my dad was like, "So what are we gonna do next?" And that was honestly the conversation that started it. It was either college or go pro. And obviously I feel like I made the very right decision now. But at the time, it was uncertain on what I wanted to do. But I spoke to my coach. He spoke to the national coaches, and they were backing me to come to college. Not necessarily Wake Forest. They offered a couple suggestions, but my coach, his best friend, um, was Chris Eaton, the assistant coach who used to be here. Unfortunately, he left when I came,
Oh.
so it was a bit it was a bit that was a bit of a tough time. But he that was his best friend, so I decided to come to Wake and yeah, I would definitely say I made 1,000% I made the right choice. I wouldn't change anything about like the recruiting process or coming here. I've had the best time with these boys and yeah, I hope we continue to have that.
Mhm. What did the recruiting process look like for you?
Well obviously I think I was in a bit of a different situation to most I've heard because I my dad's in business, so he has very logical approaches. So my coach actually my dad got my coach to message Chris, who was the assistant at the time, which I don't think normally happens. I think normally the colleges reach out to you.
Mhm.
Because obviously I had loads of like emails and Instagram DMs. So I kind of did it the opposite way around. But I had 3 schools I was looking at, and I kind of just me and my dad had like 5 factors that we wanted this school to tick all the boxes, and Wake was the school that we chose to go for.
What were those five factors?
Well, for example, like scholarship, very
Mhm.
big one.
Yeah, that's
Scholarship,
important. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, scholarship, academics, actually school size we put as a factor because I kind of being at an academy and especially the UK, you know, it's a small world and I kind of wanted that's what I love about Wake Forest. I can't remember how many students we have, but you walk around each day and you see someone you know. That was very important for me. And then we had two more, which I think I can't remember what they were, but they were important.
No, you can't remember what the other two were.
No, but we just had we just had five things and Wake just ticked all the boxes.
What were the other schools that you said you had three top three schools? What were the other ones?
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I let my dad deal with that more, so I can't. The boys asked me here as well, and I can't remember. But my dad did. He was almost like my agent because at the time I was traveling and I had my exams, like I had A levels, and I wasn't. I had so much going on, and I didn't really take a massive interest in it. He almost acted as my agent, so I'm grateful grateful for him. But now I'm here. He's been a little less in my life, but just because I took a bit more responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And what A
Yeah.
schools did you end up taking? Because they're hard. They are very hard.
A levels?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was in the stage of picking my A levels before coming to Wake, and obviously it's not an Ivy, so I only took two A levels,
Mm-hmm.
and I took business and PE.
Mm-hmm.
I took those because they were very broad, and I thought if I didn't know American university at all, I didn't know what if I had to apply for a particular subject. So when me and my family were talking, we tried to just make it as broad as possible. So business and PE, if I wanted to do health, if I wanted to do finance, like I'm doing. So I only took those two, and yeah, I did really well with those. And yeah, it was enough to get into Wake Forest.
So you went through a strict criteria with your dad on the five factors. We only know three of the factors so far.
Sorry.
You know, it's all right, it's all right. And you keep saying that Wake Forest ticked all of them. So did you come on a visit and what did Wake Forest do to you that made it so special for you that you thought, okay, this is it, this is the one I want?
Yeah. No, again, different to most. I committed and signed before I visited.
Mhm.
So again, like, and I don't regret this at all, but I was everything was done with Wake before I even got here. And Tony, the head coach, actually said that his best guys, I mean, not including myself, obviously, but he said his best guys committed and signed before they visited. Um, he said that to us when he was giving us a speech about recruiting. But yeah, he said that, and I don't know. It was just I remember sitting. I was at Orange Bowl, my juniors, and I was sitting with the Chris Eaton at the time, and the way he was just explaining it, even aside from the tennis, he was just like, yeah, you get like the facilities, the S&C, the school, you get all the like the kit, the rackets, the clothes, the shoes. You don't have to pay for anything. I mean, aside from the other schools as well, which give you that as well, it just appealed to me a lot, and it just made me want to come to Wake. I don't know if it was just they were really good at chatting or I loved
Mhm.
it a lot. I'm not really sure, but it was a good choice.
Sounds like it. Sounds like you're very happy there. And that's the most important thing. But there was nothing that was standout. Like there was no moment where you just thought, okay, like that's it for me.
What in terms of coming to Wake?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, like it was very taboo to my family. Like we had no idea what college was like. We didn't really know. Like new people had came to college D1, but it wasn't necessarily the top of the D1. It was kind of like the lower levels of it, and I didn't really know what to expect. But definitely when I'm like, for example, we got Charlie Robertson, who's a freshman, when he was in his recruiting process, and I was here. It's for me now, like he's here now, so we've had a chat about it, but he would have loved to have, you know, been in my situation and knew everything I knew about this place because he would have like came sooner. It's such a big what's the word? this place helps you so much, whether it's like financially and academically. It really helps you with this stuff, really.
Okay, really helps you with the stuff. Do you mean
No,
do you mean like transition process
I
or
mean from like, for example, if you told me to go, if me and my dad had the conversation and we said
Mhm,
go pro, it would
mhm,
have been first, well, the finance,
mhm,
I need the finance to do that. Then secondly, if I went pro, then academically, my journey kind of ends there, because tennis is my job. And so obviously when you're in the transition phase from, so I should explain further, but when I'm in my transition phase from junior to pro, I feel like this is that phase that allows you to keep working on your game, keep developing, keep playing matches at very limited cost, but also getting that degree, if you will, to then, if you decide at 22 that you don't, you're maybe not at the where you want to be, or you're simply just not, you just don't, not good enough to go there, then at least you have the backing to go and do something else with the
mhm.
job. And I mean, for me, academically was a part, but financially, it was another part where I'm here. It was tough. It was tough to get the funding to go and play a full schedule. That's what everyone's dream is, to just keep playing tennis and not have to worry about the cost of it all. And I think that's why I was saying with Charlie, like, obviously, he has some personal stuff, but I think this place, when I was talking to him in the recruiting process, I said it helps so much financially and academically. Whether, he could come for 3 months and leave, but at least in this period, he's played a lot of matches. He's slowly getting a degree, and he doesn't have to worry about the cost of it all.
I think the college pathway is an excellent route for exactly like you just said, for having that financial freedom in a way of not having to worry about debt or how you're going to have that funding to go and play tournaments in a full schedule. And then you're also getting an education alongside that, which is so
Yeah,
important and it's
exactly.
lucrative. So it's an incredible route to go down. And it's nice to hear that you're encouraging others down that pathway and you appreciate it as well. And
Yeah.
each NIL money right now, Luca Power with all this financial talk. I'm like, wow, we.
Well, I'm in finance, so it comes up quite a lot. Just the chat about, and my dad's in business as well, so
Mhm.
we've always had that. Oh, well, I've always had that approach to things, like a logical step. But no, for someone like in the recruiting process, like I said with Charlie, it was, I want the team to be better as well. I wouldn't be trying my effort with a recruit if I didn't think they would help to Wake Forest.
Mhm. Definitely. And what would you say has been the biggest difference between competing at home and then coming to the US?
I think obviously the obvious one is the team environment. Having people there, like coaches, players, fans supporting you, I think is a huge one. I kind of struggled in the summer going home, where you're kind of isolated and alone. I kind of struggled with that transition from having loads of people supporting you to potentially just yourself playing. I kind of struggled with that. I got a bit better towards the end, but I think that's a huge difference in when you're playing in America. Yeah, I think that was the biggest difference for me from playing in the spring to the summer. Um, it was a little bit tough for me.
Was that a difficult transition for you coming into the US? Like, obviously, tennis is such an individual sport, and then you're now put into a team environment where it's no longer just about you, it's about a collective effort. And we have to get to 4 points if we're going to win. Was that a struggle for you, or did you automatically just fit into that team culture pretty nicely?
I think, as much as I don't want to admit it, I think when I came, um, I think it was tough. I think some of the boys said, obviously I was a junior. They said they thought I was a bit cocky, which obviously I deny. Uh, but I think they thought that I was like a one man band. Um,
Mm.
but I feel like, over the year and a half I've been here that, I think I definitely lean more towards the team aspect of it. It was a challenge in the fall of my freshman year, but I think as soon as the season came along, we, it was team first. I think that was always how our coaches and my teammates looked at it, and I think I just followed suit. I don't think particularly I was, all for me. I was all for Wake really.
Why was it a challenge and then what changed?
It was just tough. I think coming in freshman, you don't know. I say this to other freshmen when they come in, you don't know the level, yeah, and you don't know almost like who's good, who's not as good. And it's a challenge not knowing, for me at least it was a challenge not knowing like who you should really be and who maybe you shouldn't be. And I think I kind of got wound up a little bit and I was kind of focusing on myself a little bit too much. But in the fall, it's in essence is you're playing for yourself. It's not there's no team event in the fall aside from doubles. But like I said, in the spring when the team events there, it's all go for the team.
Mhm. Was it a quick change for you when it came to the spring then? It just kind of clicked.
Yeah, well, initially my freshman year, last year, I didn't know whether I was going to play or not. So obviously you have the chat with the coach at the start of the year saying, what's lineup looking like and stuff like that. And I never had the um one of our guys got injured, so I got put in. So I never had I may have had a different outlook if I was on the bench for a couple games, but I got put straight in with the team, so I kind of felt that connection, if you will. I felt quite close to the team, and yeah, it came quite quickly to me. I mean, I say it now. I've always wanted the team to win, whether I win or lose. The team definitely comes first.
Okay. Okay. So with that transition, what was the hardest thing to get used to? What with juggling academics, a new schedule, managing relationships, for you, what was the hardest and what was the easiest thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think managing relationships was definitely a tough one. I had a girlfriend at home at the start, and I really struggled with keeping that going with the time difference, the classes, the practice, and it got easier. I went home a little bit in Thanksgiving and Christmas, so you have some difficult conversations, but I definitely found a way better balance as I transitioned through to the spring and even this fall. I think I've done a lot better job of prioritizing and making time for family and stuff like that back home. But I think that was a big one for me. You come to college, you get consumed with just general stuff like um, school, practice, gym, studying. And I think I struggled, but I think I managed to prioritize in the end.
How did you get there? Just through trial and error, or did you have to have someone give you a helping hand?
No, it was more so through time. I think I just realized that when I maybe had time, I was choosing to do certain stuff than other stuff. For example, like if I had a quick an hour in the day or something, instead of maybe we have a place called Nut Center where you can just chill. Maybe not doing that, maybe doing some work so that later I have time for a phone call and stuff like that. I definitely managed to get a bit more of a routine and a bit of a rhythm. And
Mhm.
yeah, it was a lot easier. But I definitely did struggle quite a lot at first.
So would you say routine and time management is kind of what's helped you progress along your college career so far?
Yeah, I mean, definitely like all my friends, girlfriend back home, like they know like clockwork, where like what time I wake up usually, because obviously the time difference. So they'll
Hmm.
know like what time I wake up, what classes I've got, when I'm gonna be on my phone, when I'm gonna be off my phone, when I'm gonna be studying, when I'm gonna be playing tennis. I think it definitely not only helped me, but helped them back home as well, trying to communicate with me and stuff. I think because especially if they're not too happy and they make me know about it, it kind of can affect me also.
Hmm.
But I definitely no routine was definitely a big factor in that.
Mm. Okay, massive. It's not something that we've really touched on, is like that challenge with long distance and managing those relationships back home. Because obviously it sounds like you were extremely close with family and a girlfriend, and then it's such a massive move to come to the US. And like you said, it's almost like a brand new life, like new expectations, new environment, new people, new just a whole different outlook. So I'm glad to hear that you've kind of got that figured out. That's massive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah,
that's
yeah. It
massive.
was it was not easy, but through time it always seems to come good.
Definitely. So let's talk a little bit more about your time at Wake Forest. So your first year, you led in singles wins at the number 5 position. Is that right?
Yeah, I started at six, but like moved to five for 3/4 of the season.
You had a remarkable season of 25 to 2.
Yeah, no, it was a good season. It was a good
Listen,
season.
that's not bad. What do you think attributed to that success?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, I can't actually say it was one thing really. I mean, and also matches are so quick. It's one after the other. Friday, Sunday, Friday, Sunday. So, but I definitely say I got confidence. This time last year when I think I lost my last match last year on the 2nd of February against Ohio State, which was the day after my birthday. That was when I lost my last match, and then from when we did national indoors last year, I won like four in a row, I think, and I just the confidence and momentum just kind of followed. I felt great on the court. I was playing well, didn't really had a couple of three setters, but I don't know. I felt good, and like we spoke about with the last question, I had my routines. I'd wake up in the morning, go stretch, work out on game day, then we'd have our first hit and stuff like that. I think the routine part definitely helped for me because I'm quite like military with stuff like that. Um, and yeah, I can't say it was one thing in particular. I had different coaches on my court for different matches, but I think definitely the momentum, which is what I think is so great about college. You play matches every week. It definitely just helps, just sweep through the matches.
So you had different coaches for different times on your court. What was the best bit of advice you've had from a coach that kind of flipped a switch in you?
I think at the start I had Tony, who's our head coach, and obviously it's so different from normal. They're on the court, they're talking to you all the time. But I think for me, it was just he was so almost wasn't about the tennis. He was always so like motivational, and he always made it very like you could feel that you were going to war with him almost on the court against the other guy. And from someone like me who's super competitive, and he's also crazy competitive, I think it just helped me a lot with getting pumped up and really playing my best tennis. I mean, we have three coaches at Wake, and they all have their own different thing. But I think it really helped me, freshman year being new. It really helped me having Coach Tony on the court, guiding me through it.
Mhm. And that first year playing college tennis, what was it like? The highs and lows, run me through it.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. Our team did incredibly well. We made semis of national indoors, semis of tournament, ACC tournament, came second, I believe, in the ACC. Lost in the semis of national outdoors. So we definitely had our highs and lows. I mean, it was a good year for us, apparently. I mean, I don't know the previous years, but it was a good year for us. But I think there was always something missing. We were always there, but we were not there, if you know what I mean. We'd always get far, but we were always cut short. And obviously, with my record that you said last year, I was always contributing to the team, but we just couldn't almost get over the line. And I think that's the harsh reality of a team. It's not just me, it's the other guys on court. And yeah, I think the best moment, I think, was trying to think what the best moment from someone who's as competitive as I am. it's hard to call a best moment because we didn't win. Um, I mean, I can tell you the lowest moment was ACC tournament. I start the match against Florida State in doubles, and at 5-2, my leg just goes completely numb. I can't walk, I can't jump, and I think that was definitely the worst moment I've had so far in college because it was so heart wrenching because this we had a good week of training before. This was meant to be our week to take the title that we could have taken, and yeah, it was just so bad. I had to pull out of the doubles. No, we lost the doubles point. I couldn't play singles, and we lost 4-3 against Florida State. And yeah, it was heartbreaking. That was
Mm.
definitely the worst moment.
What happened to your leg?
I don't know. I mean, they still don't know what it is, so it potentially could happen again. My coach has something wrong with his hips, and he thinks I have the same thing. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but I don't know. They don't know what it was. It was just some like freak kind of thing, and yeah, it was terrible. I couldn't walk for like 2 days.
Oh,
But then after the 2 days, I go back on court and like I'm running everywhere. It's
a quick
brutal, brutal.
turnaround. Yeah, quick
Yeah, it
turnaround.
was brutal timing, but it's what it is, isn't it?
Do you have a special moment at all that you've thought was just incredible? Mm.
I mean, I'm trying to think back. I mean, this year the indoors was uh incredible. I mean, there was one wasn't particularly. I'm just trying to think. There was one moment that was really motivating, which sounds bad, but it was after we lost against Texas.
Mm.
Um, we the next morning, it's me, Holden, and Coach Tony, and Holden's a grad, so he's done. We just lost to Texas the day before in the national outdoor semifinals, so that's our season over. Holden's done. He's going to go get a job or play. He's got a job now, but yeah, and me and Holden had gone like 50-6, so we'd won
Wow.
loads of matches,
Yeah.
and we he lost like 4 matches, I lost two,
Mm.
and Tony said to me, I remember he said, next year we're gonna, I don't know if he said we're gonna win it all, but he said I'm gonna have guys who are gonna we're gonna like win or something. He was like, we're gonna win it all, and from there it really like inspired me to really put my head down and just keep working hard and keep showing up for Wake. And it was so special when we won the title like a couple of weeks ago because I thought like it was just, I don't know, it just felt really special that he'd said that. And obviously I remembered it from months and months ago. And yeah, that was for me the most special moment when Steph won that last point. It just, yeah, it was crazy.
Mhm, mhm. I saw the celebrations. It did look pretty incredible. I got a little bit of goosebumps. I was like, wow, that's an unbelievable feeling to have. And again, congratulations to you guys.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, no problem. You speak so highly of Wake Forest. So, in terms of the team, the culture, the coaches, and the school and academics itself, what do they do such a good job of?
Um, I mean, yeah, I love I love Wake Forest men's tennis like the most. I think the guys are so good, the coaches are great, and it's for my tennis. It was the best thing I chose to do. I think it's just uh, I don't know. I can't compare this to any other school because obviously I'm not at other school, but I think just our team is just so we got so many guys, but I think we're just so driven and determined, and I think we all want to win for each other so badly that I think it just makes like a really good like hardworking environment. I think, like I said, Tony is super competitive, and our team is crazy competitive, and I think that from someone as competitive as I am, it just makes me and the team just want to do well for him and the program. And I wouldn't say it's one particular thing, but I think that we all feel like we owe it to the program just to give it our all and work really hard. And I think that's why I mean, aside from the recruiting, which the coaches did a really good job of, I think the guys who have been here for more than a year have done a really good job of that.
How have they instilled that culture though of doing it for the program for something more than just yourselves?
I don't know. I think we always, in our player speeches with just the players, we always talk about, instilling a legacy. And I think it's really, we had a guy, our captain last year, Matt Thompson, who was here for 4 years. He still hangs around, and he always said that, like, it really stuck with me. He said that he'd been here for 4 years, and he, no disrespect to him, but he said he had nothing to show for it. And I think in our conversations, when we all have input, you know, you want to be remembered as the team that, for Wake that really did this and really performed. And I think for me especially, it helps having that motivation in your mind to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this for Wake Forest, and the coaches really help with that. They're great, and but I think it really comes from the players as well.
Mhm. You speak really highly of the players. It sounds like it's almost a player-driven sort of goal and expectation where they really push it to the max to get the most out of everyone. Was that something that was already established when you got there, or is that just something that's kind of leaked, well, not leaked, carried on from previous generation of the team?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd say because obviously I'm only a second year, so I don't know how it was previously, really. But I think just the conversations we have as players, like I said, for a couple of them, it's their last year. Some of them not aren't going to play tennis anymore, and so if you have that, especially for me especially, it's just I want to do it for almost like my brother on the team. You want to give my all in practice, in weights, in everything I do for Wake to make sure that he remembers his time and he remembers Wake how it should be remembered. And I think the coaches still do a very good job.
Mhm.
Tony, Brian, and Vinny work so hard, and I think we all. You've all got to pull your weight, really, and yeah. But no, the players do talk. I mean, we're a big team, so obviously sometimes it's split.
Yeah, yeah.
But the players do a really good job of motivating each other. And again, one thing I like is we don't really, if something needs saying, it's said, and it's always out there. It's never between. I would never talk bad about Charlie to someone. I'd say it straight to Charlie, which I think can be good and bad in ways, but I think it really helps our program and just being real with each other.
That team culture sounds phenomenal, actually, that you can have those conversations with one another and it's something that is spoken about. Who
Yeah.
created that?
I don't know. We always just said, if you got something to say, you just say it. I think, I mean, I haven't been a part of really of a team before, apart from at home a couple of times,
Mhm.
but I think it's the best way to operate. There should be no secrets between the team. We're all playing for a common goal. And I think that, it wasn't necessarily started by anyone, but I definitely noticed it a lot more that we always state how we feel. And I think obviously we have arguments like any other, probably more than most, but we're like brothers at the end of the day. That's what we do.
Talk to me about a day in the life for Luca Powell at Wake Forest.
Well, you're talking about tomorrow, then it's shambles, but uh like let's say
Do an average day in the
tough.
life. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy.
Let's do like a Monday. Monday. No, let's do a Tuesday. Tuesday's
Okay.
better.
Yeah.
Tuesday, well, I have an 8 a.m. class.
Hmm.
So I have class 8 till 9:30, and then 9:45 till 10:45, and then that's me done for the day. So I'll go the night before. Tony will text who wants an individual. You'll say whether you have time / want one. So I'll probably have an individual about 12 till 1:30, Then I'll go get some lunch with the boys. Then at 3 we'll have team practice, and then 3 till let's say 5 or 2:45 normally. 2:45 to 5 we have team practice, and then 5 to 5:30 on a Tuesday we have conditioning. So we'll do that, and then after that we'll go to the training room, um, stretch, ice bath, and then at like 6:37 we'll have dinner, and then past that it's free time to do school or whatever you desire, really.
Are you a massive fan of the ice bath?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, we always debate with our massive team on like the effectiveness of ice bath, but yeah, I think personally think it's good, but some people don't. But obviously, if you've got our captain Franco, who's 27, telling a 19-year-old freshman who doesn't want to get in the ice bath, best believe they'll be getting in that ice bath.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And what's it like competing on such a big team?
I mean, like obviously with the big nature of the team, everyone's got different roles. You know, there's
Mhm.
so many of us, and only 6 play. So yeah, everyone's got different roles. But with practice and stuff like that, I find it good. You practice with different players, different levels, and at the end of the day, it just I don't know. For me, it helps having that extra guy to go talk to go hang out with. Like, I'll have lunch and could be having lunch with anyone. You know, there's so many guys. But I think like on match day especially, it's so helpful. Like I don't really think these boys understand how good it is when they're being loud and being so supportive on the side. Like it helps so much, especially for me. Um, but no, I value it. I mean, some people say that the team should only be or will be only 10. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how that's gonna feel, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a big team. I think it's probably one of the largest that is out there, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Um,
probably. Yeah.
with the different roles on the team, like, could you give an example of who has what roles? And in terms of the lineup, because like you said, only 6 play for singles anyway. Well, and double. Wait, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Finance major, you correct me.
No,
Um,
no, it's all good.
so how does that create with the relationships with everyone on the team? So I'm sure everyone wants to play.
Yeah,
Um,
of course. And primarily apart from me and Charlie, who I'm 20, he's 18. The rest of the guys are 24, 23, 24. I mean, Franco's 27, but that's an anomaly. 20, like they're all 24. So obviously it's tough getting a 24-year-old to talk to an 18, 19-year-old freshman. So I
mhm,
think, especially last year, it helped me. I was kind of in a conflict 'cause I was with the older guys playing, but
mhm,
also I was living with the younger guys. So I kind of got a bit of a balance of both. Um, but yeah, no, with like the younger guys and stuff, I mean, everyone's aim at the end of the day is to go pro. Well, some don't have that goal. So I think that's kind of what I was referring to with the roles. Some people don't necessarily have necessarily want to go pro and stuff, and obviously it's evident. I mean, it's hard to classify certain roles. It's tough to say what role they have, but it's just like even like practicing, supporting, like they definitely different people help in different ways.
mhm. Does it ever get tough with like who's going to be playing and who's not? And
I
did
mean,
you
right
put
now,
19 on the road as well?
no, I think it was like rules, like how many you could take.
Um,
I think it was like,
big, yeah.
well, for national indoors, we took everyone, and it was great. Just bonding with everyone. I mean, some guys like I think you can only take 12 or 13. So obviously, a couple guys don't come, like 5 or 6 don't come, which is obviously different. But yeah, no, it's tough, but yeah, it is what it is.
Oh,
It's tough.
okay then. That's all right. So, after winning the championship, what is the mindset of the team and the coaches? I'm
Well,
expecting
even
from here on out, I should add.
well, no, we're just super motivated. I mean, even as soon as we won the the indoors, we had a chat. I think we got back at like 2 a.m. or 1:30 a.m. and it was coach Tony had already ticked. He said he ticked off. He just ticked indoors off. He just wanted to move straight on to ACC regular season. I think, and that's how we're all looking at it. I mean, I'm, you know, everyone on our team wants 4 rings. That's the goal. And I said to the team, I'm very big on like manifestation, and if you say it and believe it, then you can almost speak it into existence. And I think that's very important for our team to have, because we always say like no negativity. We only want positive and speaking towards the goal. And like I said, we have so many motivating factors to guide us through the season. And of course, it's a long season, and we may lose, and we may have difficult times, but we're very clear on what we want our goals to be.
Mm. What are those motivating factors?
Well, like I've been mentioning, with some of the guys not going to play in tennis anymore. But I think primarily for me, and I think a couple of the others, is the legacy that we want to leave for Wake Forest. I mean, I was speaking to Franco, our captain, and obviously him being his last year, he wants us to do really well this year. And I'm talking to him and I'm saying, yeah, but I also want to be good for the next 2 years. I'm here also because I'm not leaving. And I think that's kind of what we want to instill in the guys, that if we keep winning, then we'll be able to get better recruits and better stuff like that. And Wake will be a top tennis program for however long they can be.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you have any advice for incoming freshmen?
What, from anywhere?
Just anywhere. Yeah, go crazy.
I think it's just something I learned as a throughout my freshman spring. I think it's just to take every opportunity you can just to almost play tennis. I mean, I came into freshman fall like overweight, a bit demotivated, not really feeling good about my tennis. And I'm just thinking back now, and I'm like thinking, what am I doing? I should be out there, because in essence, you're working against 22-year-olds who are seniors, because the team primarily is going to be seniors. So I would just take every opportunity to practice, to play, to improve, because there's so many opportunities out there on the court, whether it's on the court, in the gym. I mean, outside, maybe academically also, but just take those opportunities to keep improving, keep learning, because I'm in my second year now, almost my third, and it goes by fast.
It really does. It really, really does. All right. Some quick fire questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, okay, good.
Okay. Pre-match ritual.
Like pre-match or like the morning of?
Uh, can do both. Go ahead.
I don't know, I mean, I always do the same thing every day. I'll wake up early, go to gym by myself for like 30 minutes, like very early. Then I'll breakfast, hit Panera, hit. That's about it really. We do the same thing every time.
Do you have
Like I
anything
mentioned
that's
before,
specific to you though, aside from waking out really early?
not particularly. I don't really listen to music or anything. I mean, aside from the team thing, we hit with the same guys. Like
Mhm.
before the match, we'll practice with the same guy. But aside from that, no, not really.
Mhm.
I'm already ready.
He's already ready. Okay. Do you have a favorite song? Maybe not because you don't listen to music.
Yeah, they asked us at indoors. They were like, Me and Tachi, my doubles partner. They were like, "Who does Luca listen to before
Mhm.
uh thing?" And I just said Drake. I was like, Drake. He puts Bad Bunny or something like that. I think it's some Spanish artist or something. I had
What's
no idea.
what's your best shot?
Forehand.
Okay. Favorite athlete?
Um, let's go Andy Murray,
Okay. Favorite part about Wake Forest?
the team.
Okay. And finally, we have a question from the previous pod. Hannah McColgan wanted to know, what's your favorite quote?
Oh, do you want to be good or do you want to be great?
Okay. Is there a backstory behind that, or?
Yeah, when I was younger with my dad, We always used to arrive at tournaments really early, and obviously sometimes when you're younger, you don't want to do the stuff. We'd arrive early to warm up and stuff like that. And obviously when I'm there at like 7 a.m., I'm kind of just going through the motions and stuff. And he was obviously like, do you want to be good or do you want to be great? And I think it just really stuck by me that, even when I'm having a bad day, do I just want to be good or do I want to be great?
Mhm. Very nice. And do you have a question for the next person on the podcast?
Uh, what's your least favorite part about your school?
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you very much, Luca, for coming on. You're amazing, and congratulations again on the indoors title. And best of luck to you and Wake Forest for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.